For Dan Sullivan, creating something new means starting with something old.
They can be old barn beams, cabin timbers, pier pilings. Even the first of them were fence posts.
It means looking past the superficial and finding potential.
People look at that and say, well, it either goes into the landfill or goes into a campfire. And to me, that's just a shame. It's old wood with all that character and all that history, and it still has a story to tell.
This story begins a few years back when Dan was cleaning out his garage in Wausau.
I had a bunch of pieces of old wood that I was going to use for landscape timbers, and I just didn't want to throw them away. I felt that they had some purpose to them, so I started kind of playing around with them. Started doing a little bit of carving on them, and I thought, well, let me see if I can do some kind of decoy.
A duck decoy. He called them boonducks.
Well, the name boonducks evolved from the fact that they're made from wood that's recovered out of the boondocks. Who doesn't like a duck? I mean, you take just a pond and you look at that and say that's a beautiful pond, but the minute you put a duck on it, it becomes a whole different environment. I really can't call myself a wood carver because what I do is more wood sculpture. I use no knives. I use a saw to get the rough form, and then I start chiseling around at the sides and the shoulders, and then from that point on I use what are called shaping rasps to get all the different contours.
Instead of smoothing the surface, though, Dan leaves chips and cracks in the wood. He even hammers the surface to add texture before coating the wood with beeswax.
Sure, I get down and dirty. Kind of the opposite of the fine art ones where you want to have everything perfect. Mine are kind of perfectly imperfect.
In all the process, there's one thing he doesn't use: electricity.
I start using power tools, I'll be without fingers. Just plain and simple.
That's not because Dan doubts his craftsmanship. It's because he relies on different senses than other woodworkers.
I have had macular degeneration for almost 50 years now, and it's normally an eye condition that hits people in their 70s and 80s. Well, for me, I got it at age 9, and it's slowly diminished my central vision. This will be the 50th year since I've been diagnosed with it, and that I can't read a newspaper anymore. I've never been able to drive, things of that nature, but I can use the peripheral to do some of these things.
Dan's vision affects more than his methods. Because he sees living ducks differently, Dan carves wooden ducks differently too.
As I explain to people, because of my unique acuity, you take a duck, for example, the average person sees the feathers. I see the flutter. And that's the best way I can kind of describe that. I see the ducks in kind of a folk art version because I can't do the details, so I do emphasize those different caricatures of a duck.
Dan's unique perspective has inspired another craft: writing. He's written 3 books under the pen name D.S. Sully, and he's helped other budding writers as well.
Do the thing that's called the Writability Workshop, where I teach people with disabilities how to write about their experiences.
Dan has also gotten involved with VSA, an organization that supports artists with disabilities. With their help, Dan's ducks have taken flight, turning up in art shows first around Wisconsin, then around the country.
They've been in shows last year in California, Minneapolis, Louisville, Stevens Point, Madison. One even ended up in the Nixon Library in California.
As each new duck finds a new home, these cracked old timbers find new life.
That's kind of what art is all about. It's that perspective, how each of us can look at something but see it a little bit differently.